Welcome to the Year of Shame 3, Episode 1. I am your host, Colm, and I am joined by Matt.
Hello.
Stuart.
Alright.
And Connor.
Alright.
And we are starting a new year of shame as usual, so let's get straight to it and make no bones about this. Here are the rules. No buying new games or second-hand games. No trading in games to buy new or second-hand games. You can buy games if you have outstanding credit before the challenge started on your PSN, whatever. Gifts are allowed on Valentine's Day, Easter, birthdays and Christmas.
What about anniversaries?
And anniversaries, there's always one to spoil it.
The end in a zero.
End in a zero, yeah. Anniversaries. You can be gifted a game, but not from any members of the podcast. Let's call him screwed then. You put that in, Stuart.
That was me.
You have to have a microphone that works, okay?
That's true.
That's fair comment.
Okay, so there are the rules. We all abide by them rules, lads.
What about DLC? Because there is no mention of it on there.
No, but you have to buy DLC with credit. So DLC,
once your funds are done,
you're done. Yeah,
right.
There's no. So that DLC covers the credit aspect of it.
Okay.
Basically.
And the other caveat I was going to say is, which applies to Colm, yes, you and your Mushroom Man game, is that if you've pre-ordered a game for over 6 months, i.e. you pre-ordered a game in the hopefulness that it was going to come out last year, but it got put forward to this year, I would say that's a caveat as well, because you, at the time of pre-ordering and payment being took from you, you did not know the game was going to be put forward to the end of this year. I'm looking at you,
Grant.
Battlefield Hardlines.
I just want to let the listeners know that my Mushroom Man is Captain Toad.
It's not a euphemism for your penis.
No. You have a separate name for him. I won't go into that in this podcast. Okay, so let's move on to what have we been playing. And I'll hog the mic again. I have been playing quite a lot this month, actually. Completed some really, I'm sure certain members of the podcast team would not say they were real games, but I completed a few games on my iPad because I've got a few of them on there. Monumental Valley, very nice. 8 out of 10. Nice. Very nice. Better with the headphones on. A Bird Story on PC. I got that on Steam. Brilliant game. It's from the same fella that made To the Moon. Short and sweet. Not really a game, more of a story, obviously in the name. Tengami on the iPad, 8 out of 10. The last couple of levels were a bit hard, so I had to do an old YouTube video for that one. And Modern Warfare 3 on the 360.
Welcome to 1998.
Yeah. And as listeners will know, at the moment I'm working through Captain Toad, my 9 out of 10, I gave that. Zelda Link Between Worlds, 3DS again. Doing a bit of Saints Row 3, which I'm finding good laugh, and Hitman Absolution, which I was near the end of it, but the bloody save got corrupted, so I won't be going back for that one, man. And this horrendous game called D4, which is actually my postal code because of Dublin 4, but I thought it would have been good. It's absolute.
Hear you, outside, son. Didn't he be talking about Swami or his games like that, you know what I mean? Man made Dead with Premonition. Man's got vision, you know what I mean? Some of us paid £15 for D4. I'm not saying who, but some of us did. Hence why we didn't pick anything up this month. Some of us paid £15 for that game. You behave yourself.
Okay, well, it's not my type of game. Let's put it that way, okay? So, that's me. Short and sweet. I don't rant and rave like certain members of other podcasts I do. Matt, what have you been up to?
Obviously, because our intro podcast was recorded back at the beginning of December, managed to pick up a few games before we started the challenge on January the 1st. So just of today, completed Shadow of Mordor. Relatively recent game. I'm sure most people will know about it. Yeah, a fairly enjoyable game. I think it's had some pacing issues. I thought it got weaker towards the end, but overly fairly enjoyable game. Very similar to a lot of the Batman games. If you like Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, you'd like Shadow of Mordor. Picked up Endless Legend. I've given that a brief go. It's much like the Civilization style of games. So yeah, quite good, but due to the incredible backlog, etc., I've played through it once. It seemed a decent game, but I've got so much to get through. That's a one and done for me.
Is that a time sink?
Yeah, it's one of those games you would play for hours and hours and hours, and have only scratched the surface. I just don't have the time to commit to one game just doing that, apart from Hearthstone, which I play infinitely, and I think that's going to be a sort of ongoing theme throughout the year. What else did I play? State of Decay, which I think came out last year before, I forget when. Zombie apocalypse game, rather uninteresting story, terrible execution, but it had some good systems to it. It kind of limped along. It's one of those games you think, well, this is quite good, and then something had happened, you'd want to turn it off, but then you go back to it and enjoy something. Real up and down kind of game, but it was worth it I bought it on a sale. It's a couple of quid, probably was okay. And then I'll give a special mention. Did a bit of couch co-op with friends last night, and we played a game called Mount Your Friends, which I don't think I've laughed so much at a game for quite some time. I don't think I could do that game justice by describing what it is, but if you go on YouTube and type in Mount Your Friends and watch one of the many playthroughs on YouTube, it's a good laugh if you got some friends around. So that's been pretty much my month of stuff I've been playing.
Lucky man, got some couch friends around.
Yeah, it's only a quarterly event, so but yeah, they happen now and again.
All right.
yeah, exactly. Happy Tuesdays.
It's special occasions, is it? Then you can't stand the sight of them, and then you think, go home, I don't want to see you for another 3 months. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, thanks, Matt. Stuart, what have you been up to?
Playing games. Yeah, as always, that's why I'm here. That's why you got the job. Right. Kind of backlog on the whole January thing. January was the challenge, Stylistic Puppies Achievement Challenge, which I know Colm took part in and failed miserably. And I won, as is standard issue. So,
to my mind, I did quite well. I was fourth all along, and then for the last couple of days I failed to play because I had to do other important stuff, like grown-up stuff that you kids wouldn't know about, and I came 5th. So 5th out of 10 or 11 isn't bad.
Why did you even turn up? Anyway, so
I strive for mediocrity, trust me.
Well, you made some of these look good. Very good, in fact. Anyway, so in the pursuit of achievements, not that I was playing for achievements, I got Shadow Warrior for Christmas, which I think I said last time I was getting. Yeah, old school remake of an old school Duke Nukem style FPS, pretty much a kind of game I kind of love. Just go in and shoot shit. There's a story to it, don't care. There's big monsters, I love it. Throwing stuff, using powerful weapons, using demon heads to burn guys. Really basics by the number shooter, really good. Then I played a wee bit of Far Cry 4. Quite enjoyed it. Basically, I'm only missing one achievement in it. Played through it to completion. Talked about it a lot in the Console Ninjas. Plug, if yous are listening to that.
Yeah.
They played Zombie Driver Ultimate Edition, which is a kind of top-down racer story game. Really basic.
Was that on the iPad?
Probably is. It was on the Xbox, and then it got a HD. I used the quotation marks really bigly here. It got an HD upgrade to the Xbox One, but it was.
Does it look fabulous? Yeah.
It looks amazing for an isometric racer. Like some of the micro machines and stuff don't have shit on this thing, man. This thing's amazing. Really fun, mindless, good palate cleanser between sessions. So I would play Shadow Warrior, kind of get a bit meh, and then play that for a wee bit, and then play a bit of Far Cry. And then I played through Modern Warfare like you did because you live in the 1920s. I played Advanced Warfare. Was chipping away at it since the release, and I kind of pulled the finger out because I needed the achievements for that challenge, so finished it. It was pretty much enjoyable, by the numbers COD stuff. I'll play through it in Veteran next. That's the next kind of stopping point on it, is the Veteran. I don't really see it. How does it rate in the CODs of yesteryear? I don't know if the story will go any further because of the way it ended. Is it as good as Ghosts? For me, story-wise, I think Ghosts is a better ending. Is it good as Modern Warfare? Probably not. Hey-ho, that's how it goes, you know what I mean? Yeah, so COD and chips all round for everyone. Yeah, it was good. So that was me kind of in a nutshell. Playing through a real mixed bag, playing through the absolute crud that is The Crew. Dreadful game.
Why? Doesn't work?
No, it works, but it just... No, well, no, let me rephrase that. Rewind. The game works if it wants to work. apparently there's a problem with it on the Xbox One where if you put the game in and press start, it loads the game, fine and dandy. Brings you to the intro screen, fine and dandy. Continue game, click on it, and when it goes to load your game, it freezes. Now, quite a lot of people were speculating why it does this, because it did it the first time I went to play it, and I didn't really know what it was doing, and I kind of was like, it's doing it too often, disk out, uninstall, reinstall, still did it. Right, online. People are thinking it's trying to connect with the Ubisoft servers, and the problem is the Ubisoft servers, whereas in Far Cry, you connect with the Ubisoft servers before you go into the menu screen. Yeah. It's really seamless. For the two games to have come out at the same time, for the same company, Far Cry is a walk in the park compared to the crew to get online. Once you get it working and get into it, it's a whole lot of, I don't know, it's just doesn't grab. Mind, I've played Forza Horizon 2, so I've had steak, and once you've had steak, you don't really want to go back to cheap cuts of meat, and the crew is fun, maybe. I don't know for people who own it, so I can't really explore the crew mechanic. I enjoy what I'm playing here. I'm playing through it and it's fine and dandy, but for what I hear, it's just doesn't do what it's meant to do in the tin, and it's a bit disappointing because it should have been good, I think, and I'll play it and I'll finish it and that, but at the end of the day, it's just no for me really. Playing through GTA 5 as well, restarted that, so just chatting away at that. Playing a lot of the online and that just now with the guys, so enjoying that. And then I think we're going to re-roll characters in Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition, so I'll probably go back and finish my hardcore play of that soon as well, and then have a new re-rolled character to play on 4-player co-op with the guys off Console Ninjas. So definitely a lot on my plate, and it's all great.
It was a mouthful. Thank you very much, Stuart. What was the story? Did you not like Advanced Warfare? I thought the story was less confusing than the previous ones.
See, right now I'm kind of like Clive Barker. Is it Clive Barker? Troy Baker. That's him. Troy Baker.
There is a Clive Barker.
Clive Barker's Troy Baker's surrogate father. No, Troy Baker is doing my nut in, because Troy Baker is the man in the crew. He's the man in Far Cry. He's the man in Advanced Warfare. So Troy Baker is everywhere.
He's null and north of the modern gaming era.
And the problem is when you're playing one game with him and you play another game and it's got him in it, it just does your nut in. And the fact that it is him and COD is a bit kind of jarring, you know what I mean? Because they modelled his face for the character, and I thought it was alright. I really see. We're going to spoiler territory. Are we going to go to spoiler territory? You want to go to spoiler territory? Anybody here?
I wouldn't.
Don't no. Because it took me 5 years to finish Modern Warfare 3. You know.
Nobody cares about COD.
No, everybody doesn't hate COD. Everybody. No.
It's a shooty. I'm not saying the second words to satisfy Justin.
It's just because it's so popular that everybody loves to hate it. Just like in the 80s when I was growing up, everybody hated Steve Davis because he was perfect. Steve Davis is a lovely fella.
God, is the Steve Davis a gaming? Superb.
So everybody loves to hate something, but I can guarantee them are running down the shop, pre-ordering the next COD, and then moaning and bitching about it. But
tonight's mission for me is to find out if Steve Davis is on Twitter, and I will say to him, you've won the award for being the most liked Call of Duty by the Year of Shame Free podcast.
The phrase that you're the COD of snooker players.
Yes.
Yeah. That's it. I was only down in during the Christmas, and he was in the same hotel. They were doing some testimonial or tournament down in Goffs or one of them places, and he was in there. So lovely fella. And so was Jimmy White,
who's more like Titanfall.
Yeah, he's the Titanfall. He's the rebel. But anyway, I just want to say something about Far Cry 4. Maybe I'm just getting too old and cynical, but seriously, Far Cry 4, Far Cry 3, Assassin's Creed, Shadow of Mordor, they're all the same shit.
No, they're not.
Basically,
come on, Grant.
They are all. I loved Shadow of Mordor. Went in and bought Shadow of Mordor, and I couldn't wait to play it. And 2 hours later, I'm going, this is crap.
Really?
I'm sorry, but I'm just very cynical. I'm just sorry. I'm 47 years of age. I've been there, done that, except for a few things, of course. And it's just, gaming-wise, they are so... I was playing Far Cry 4 last night, so I actually enjoyed it, but I could stick it on tonight and I could say, this is a load of crap, so...
I don't know where this is going. I was going to say, as I've mentioned before, it's like Ubisoft must have a criteria. Like when you pitch a game, the criteria must involve there will be a point in the game where you must go to this point, and it will unlock other points within the map. That's the criteria, because that's in COD. No, it's not. That's a fish. No, that's in The Crew. It's in Assassin's Creed, and it's in Far Cry.
All it's doing is suffering. It's just suffering the Grand Theft Auto motivation, which was you can only go to certain. It did in the earlier ones. The earlier ones all had maps locked off. You had to go to a certain point before the next area of the map would unlock.
Right, yeah.
No, you had to do missions. No, you had to do missions to unlock them.
Yeah, but you're still restricted on the whole area until you've done a set thing. It's no different. It's
the same mechanic, but in every. How can you have towers in Assassin's Creed, which is a free third-person running about climbing game, right, and have the same mechanic in a bloody driving game where you do not get out of the car? It's like, how does that mechanic work in
Watch Dogs?
I get how it works.
Exactly the same.
But Watch Dogs was just Assassin's Creed in cheap clothing. You know what I mean? It was just Assassin's Creed without the assassin-ness or the Frenchness, which was always good, I suppose.
Or the decent story, or the decent acting.
I liked thingy. I forget his bloody name now.
Aidan Pierce.
What a man! Vault over your dead niece's grave. The guy's a legend. I liked him. Him so much. I played through that game.
He was utter pish, as you would say.
This is for the man who f***ing doesn't like Max Brown.
Oh.
What are you talking about, lads? You've lost me altogether anyway. I'm sorry I started that bloody conversation now. Okay, let's go. Connor, what have you been up to?
Well, apart from having a son at the end of December,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Well, we'll see as the months go on.
Does that break the rules?
Having a son.
It was my motivation for doing this year of shame, so I think I've at least achieved that, if I don't achieve anything else.
We'll allow it then.
He has no money to spend. He is just to spend on nappies.
Well, it was going to be something I was going to ask in the rules, because I was talking with the guys on the Joypad and Me podcast, and Graham was saying that his son had nearly bought him Far Cry 4 because he was playing with a controller, and it was hovering over the buy content button before he wrestled the controller off him. So if that happens, would I be allowed to gain those games?
No. No.
It's not likely for a 5-week-old child to be buying me stuff on the PSN just yet.
No. Well, if Father's Day's come up... Oh, Father's Day's allowed too.
It's all coming out now.
Father's Day, that's another one. Sorry, all you young people that don't have kids. Father's Day is allowed.
No, if your son buys Far Cry 4, you're only allowed to play it once he's done with it.
Yeah, and remember, if he's
an 18, and I won't be allowing him to play it until he's 18, so that's a long way before I'll be playing that.
I think he's talking about me, actually. I'm not allowed to play my son's game until he's finished with the bloody things.
So yeah, being a new dad and trying to actually get any time to do any gaming, my Vita's kind of been quite handy. I'd got Resogun as a freebie just after my son was born. It was a cross-buy one, so I'd got it on PS4, so I had it for my Vita. So I caned that, and New Year's Day was my first trophy, was actually clearing the experienced difficulty level. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning when I did it on New Year's Day, and my God, I'd been playing it on and off for 2 weeks prior to that just to try and clear that damn trophy. But then got the taste for it, so I've been back and played it on the PS4. I've been doing the DLC pack, which was the freebie ship creator one, and I ended up doing a bit of online co-op with one of the writers from Joypad and Me, and that was a lot of fun. That's given me the bug, and I think I'm going to try and crack that out as a platinum for this month. Other than that, I played Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, and 100% of the trophies in that. What a fantastic game. Very simple, kind of reminds me a bit of a mix of Curry Mix on the PS2, and what else does it remind me of? Ico. It's got that kind of story, controlling each brother with a separate stick and having to make them work together to do certain things. There's some genuinely touching moments. There's a few oh my gods, and there's quite a bit of wow, that's magnificent. Lovely, brilliant story. Very short. Very playable, not difficult to 100%. It only took a few hours to go through. Really,
Excuse me, it took me a while to get 100% on it.
really?
Yeah, well, I am slow now.
It took me one full playthrough and a clean up to 100% it. So yeah, that was easy enough.
I didn't get a single achievement on my playthrough, not one.
They're off the beaten track. Most of them, you do actually have to do specific things. They're
Oh yeah, you have to get one of the...
Yeah, you nick a ball off a kid and shove it down a well, and there's a few little bits and bobs that aren't necessarily obvious. There's a couple that are quite close together, but yeah.
Because I actually thought that one of the achievements would have been to
So
sit
did I.
on all the benches,
And there's only one of them that gives you anything for doing it.
yeah, so I sat on all the benches and said, it's definitely going to be an achievement of that one. A trophy, sorry, and no. You think I would have bloody bothered me arse to look at the achievement list, but I
Might
didn't.
have helped.
My morning constitutional has been the Venom table for Zen Pinball. So when I've got a bit of time sat down, I've been able to get a bit of play on that. It's not my favourite table. It looks nice, it sounds good, it's very tough, it's a bit difficult to play, it's a bit of a wind-up. It's not the worst table they've done, but it's certainly not the best. Oh, what else have I played? Oh, I've been playing a fair bit of Fat Princess Piece of Cake, which is a freemium game for the Vita. I think it's probably on iOS and something else as well. I discovered via a tweet from Shuei Yoshida that you can actually get Fat Princess for free if you get to a certain level in it, and you have to link your account to Facebook. But for some reason, Facebook doesn't work on my Vita anymore. It's completely locked the app out, so it doesn't look like I'll be getting that as a freebie. But that's quite playable. It's a match 3 game with kind of a bit of a battle mechanic kind of going on, a bit like turn-based kind of play. It's all right. It's a match 3. I do really like my match 3, so that was quite playable. I'll probably keep dipping in and out of that. I played Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, played through the story. The cutscenes look fantastic. I think they're probably some of the nicest I've seen in a game in recent years. Story, yeah, it's very Call of Duty, just with big bouncy rubber exoskeleton suits that allow you to jump and hover, and it's a bit by the numbers. It's get to this point, ooh, looks like I'll probably be getting that mechanic a bit later on. Get that mechanic, see another one, ooh, looks like I might be getting that a bit later on. I'm not going to spoil anything. I did really like the last chapter. I thought that was fabulous. The way that was introduced and everything was really good, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's the Michael Bay of video games. It's young, dumb, and full of cum. There's not much to them. The stories are all right.
You're not allowed to say that in this
Take that
podcast.
back then.
Yeah, don't say dumb.
Old, decrepit, and full of dust. I mean,
They're silly. They're all right. They're chewing gum for the fingers. They're not amazingly challenging. I played a bit of the PvP, but not loads, so I can't really kind of comment on that. I don't think I'll be spending my time and hours playing that. I did platinum Infamous Second Son, which was my second playthrough of it. I really, really liked the first 2 Infamous games. I liked the mechanic, I liked the good and evil karma idea. When I first played it after release, I played as evil, because I always do. Finished it and went, I'm not in any rush to play this again, because I don't think there's going to be much divergence. Again, another game with Troy Baker in. It looks incredible. It looks really, really beautiful. It's got some of the nicest mechanics you get for using the PS4, the DualShock 4, with sounds coming out of the speakers and some clever little touches in it. Story-wise, on my second playthrough, played it on hard and on good to see how much of a difference there would be, and there really isn't much of a difference. The character's not very likeable. It's just a bit meh. But gameplay-wise, it's nice. The mechanics all work really well. It's a relatively easy platinum. So I'm glad to get that ticked off, because we'll talk about what we gained this month a bit later, but there was a reason for clearing through that. At the moment, I am completely and utterly addicted to The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I am playing that pretty much daily, and I am now at the point where I've killed Satan. For those who haven't played it, it's an old school style top-down, random generated enemies and areas shooter. with weird and wonderful power-ups. It's very grotesque looking, but it plays really well. And when it bites you and you start to kind of suss out how to play, it's really, really addictive. And I've just played hours and hours and hours of it. I absolutely love it. And I had a little bit of a dip back into Pure Pool, which I reviewed not long after release, but I've been going back and just kind of getting a few rounds in on that, because again, it's been one of those games where I could actually play one-handed, because I had a child lodged on me, so it wasn't necessarily easy to play with both hands. And that's me done for the month.
What's the story? How many platinums have you got now?
Nah, not really. I think I'm on about 21 or 22.
Well, that's about 20 more than I have.
I've got a ridiculous amount of trophies, but certainly not an excessive amount.
What's the fascination with Marvel Pinball?
You'd asked a while ago on our Lost podcast of what game, console, and game I could live with if it was the only one, and Zen Pinball for me and a PS Vita, I could happily live with just that, because I can play that for days and days and days. There's so many different tables. I am totally obsessed with it. Score chasing, trying to beat friend scores, trying to get the achievements. Just love it. I'm not very good at real pinball, so for me, playing virtual pinball is just loads of fun. I absolutely love it. It's very, very compelling, and the fact of having all the Marvel characters and things in, they're done really, really well. I'm a big fan of the Zen Pinball stuff. I think they've done well with the licenses they've had. There's been a couple of less great tables, but generally they're all really nice, and they do or appear to do a good level of fan service. The South Park tables are some of the funniest tables I've ever played. It's so good.
What have you picked up?
Hey, right, okay. So I hadn't seen my family over Christmas, obviously, with having a new baby. So I managed to see my sister on the 1st of January, and she gave me a copy of Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition on PS3, which her and her partner had been playing and hated. So she gave it to me, which is a bit cruel. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which I won in November. My promo copy of that arrived on the 3rd of January. PS Plus content on the 7th of January was Infamous First Light, which is why I went back and played Second Son again, because I wanted to play First Light, but I haven't jumped into that yet. DuckTales Remastered on PS3, which, again, I vaguely remember the was it NES game, but only very vaguely, so I've not tried that yet. Whoa Dave on PS Vita, which I don't know anything about. Duke Nukem 3D Megaton Edition on PS3 and PS Vita. Again, not touched it, don't know much about it. I think it's probably done in the style of the original rather than anything else. We also got the Swapper for PS4, 3 and Vita, which I already have because I got it as a review copy. Prototype 2 on PS3, which I've already platinumed, so I didn't even bother getting that as a download. And Fat Princess Piece of Cake, which I said was a freemium one. And yesterday I received a review copy of Minutes, which is a PS4, PS Vita game, which I don't know a great deal about, but I'm interested in finding out. And because I am now over a third of the way through my year of shame, because I started mine in September, I went and bought some game-related clothing. So I went and dropped way too much money at Insert Coin and Muster Brand. So I'm currently sporting some nice Peace Walker trousers from Muster Brand and a nice Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero long sleeve shirt from Insert Coin whilst I'm podcasting.
How much of these review games are you going to get, do you reckon?
It depends. I don't know. I didn't actually request any for the last couple of months. The copy of Venom Table came to me completely by surprise. I hadn't requested it because December was just hectic. Obviously, when we recorded the intro podcast, I think Nathaniel was already due and hadn't arrived. So we were already over and he was a week late. So I didn't request anything because I knew full well I wouldn't be able to review stuff. Probably maybe 1 or 2 a month. But I don't know. That's if I request them. But I will declare them.
Is that your full-time job?
Reviewing games?
No, the The PlayStation.
No.
podcast you do?
No, I've got a less exciting
Okay.
job.
It's BT engineer.
A BT engineer. Yeah, with my ability to do microphones, you're probably right. I am a BT engineer.
How rude.
Who's the announcer?
I'm the speaking clock.
All right. Thanks very much, Connor. Can we have the receipt for this Diablo 3 PS3 version you got?
No,
on
but you
January
could
1st, please? Jesus,
you can
I'm a
have a
bastard.
signed
I've
declaration
turned
from
into a right
my
fucker.
sister if you want.
Yeah, that'd
Would that be
suffice.
all right?
If you could just, if you email that
No,
over,
I'm only messing with you, man. I'm only messing with you. You're doing better than I've done in the last 4 months than I've done the last fucking months. For fuck's sakes. I'm such a fucking chauvinistic pig. Okay. Thank you, Connor. Stuart, what did you get? This is going to be good. What did you get, Stuart?
The month of January, I have picked up the greatest thing ever. I got a mug. Yeah,
It's not just any old mug now, come on.
No. It's a lovely Matt Black finished Halo Master Chief Collection mug. So it holds liquid, both hot and cold. It's biased. It has a very nice handle. It can be washed in warm, cold, or warm water. It's shiny in parts. It's matte in other parts. Yeah, it's a mug. Yeah, go mug. Yeah, it's a mug. Sorry, that's what I got in January. Oh, and I went to the world premiere of Witcher 3, but yeah, nobody cares about that kind of thing, so you know.
Okay, thanks very much, Stuart. Matt.
Since I think when we did the intro podcast, I said my pile was at 717. As I stand today, it's now 733. Ooh, but what I'll say in my defence is most of the stuff I picked up was in December before January started. So in December, I picked up Shadow of Mordor, Endless Legend, Transistor, Spelunky, Volgar the Viking, Mount Your Friends, Pixel Piracy, and Gods Will Be Watching. Yes, all of that in Steam, all done in about 5 clicks.
But did you leave anything on the shop? You just take everything.
If you could do a trolley dash in Steam, I'd be raring to go. A proper supermarket sweep in that store.
It's like I go X, Y, Z, Y, Z.
Yeah,
X.
yeah.
It's like the shelves were bare.
Yeah. If I could push them all off the end of one shelf into a trolley that was at the other end of the shelf, that would be my shopping method, I think.
Select all, go to cat.
As long as Dale Winton's not there.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I mean, it was interesting because hearing Connor talking about Fat Princess piece of cake that he picked up. Now, I saw on a Twitter thing, someone mentioned about this voucher that you can get for Fat Princess on the PS3. So I downloaded that app on my iPhone purely to get Fat Princess on the PS3. I've got no intention of ever playing it. I'm never going to install it. But the pure fact that I could get that game for free by playing another game seemed an opportunity too good to miss. So picked up Fat Princess on the PS3 by playing another game. A win-win situation.
Because of the rule, you can't give that to anybody else in this podcast. I love this game.
So it's okay, Matt. I feel your pain.
Right, yeah. So I also Origin offer a free game once in a while. So I got Theme Hospital. Again, never going to install it, never going to play it, but that's I think. Yeah, that just goes on the pile, so whatever.
You're starting to make it very obvious as to why you're doing a Year of Shame.
I failed to see what you're getting at there, Connor.
Have we actually entered January here yet? Are we still in December?
You were still in December, so and then I've got all the games with gold and all the PlayStation Plus stuff that comes every. I'm not going to list it off because that will happen for the next 12 months. So I haven't actually spent any money on games, but I've managed to put 16 on top of my collection, and I'm fairly proud of that. So.
Ah, no, you are my hero.
So yeah, that's been basically everything. Yeah, that's since the intro podcast anyway.
Wow.
Well, I'm impressed. Okay, well, it's just me then, left, as usual. Colm, Captain Toad. Go on, Stuart, say something. Just wait. Dirty old man,
There was no ever any sexual connotations in catching
If you're
I'm
into
sorry.
playing Mushroom Head, man,
No,
when you play
but he's
Mushroom
gonna
Head,
say
man,
something.
it's nothing to do with
We're on the Year of Shame podcast, Colm. Is there another podcast that you do that you're getting us muddled up with?
Do you hear the sexual innuendos? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
Mushroom
sorry.
Head, man, can
Anyway.
be your thing, mate. It's not my thing.
It's just as well we're not doing a video podcast because you would laugh when you see my mushroom head. Anyway.
Have you drunk all those beers you started with?
No, not yet. I'm only on the second
this was
one.
a
Sorry,
car crash, we
I'm a
would
very
be
light
peeled
drinker.
on our
Sorry.
phones.
Okay, I'll cut all that out. Trust me.
You're
Believe
gonna have
you
to
me.
mark this one explicit now. This
When
is why
I
we can't
do,
have
no,
nice
no. I'm sorry.
This is why,
I'm sorry,
this is
but
why other
I would
folks
cut
say,
it out.
I've listened to this week's show. There's a lot of swearing on it. I mean, it's like, come on, what are we going to do?
Anyway.
We've got to swear at something. Can't I buy games? Might as well swear at stuff.
Well, thanks to Justin and his demands for making me edit podcasts. I'm very good at it now, so I can cut anything
No,
out.
just
so
beep
I just
that
feel.
bit. Don't cut that out. Just beep it.
Aye, because then you watch the
Okay,
whole
right.
connotation of the comp.
Anyway, Captain Toad, wonderful game. What can I say? Every day I feel myself going closer to Nintendo. Oh yeah, lads, I also picked up 2 Amiibos, which before the Christmas, which I actually tried to fuck off on the wife and say somebody from work. She didn't fall for it. So she laughed when I pulled that one. I actually had them on the mantelpiece as part of the Christmas decorations. Well, anyway.
I've always quite laughed at Stuart's goading of you for liking Nintendo, but you have no defence whatsoever for the Amiibos.
Yeah,
None whatsoever.
It's are they the expensive ones? They're not even the expensive ones, aren't they? No, they're the
Argus were doing 2 for 20.
no, but it's not like they're the models
You
you
could
can
get a
resell.
Happy Meal from McDonald's for a couple of quid, and they'll come with some equally useless 1-inch piece of plastic. So
Hold on. I didn't think you were the enemy
and you
here.
get a
I
burger
was
with
expecting
the Happy Meal.
Stuart.
And a gherkin.
Excuse me. Yeah, but the Happy Meal will kill you.
So the Amiibo.
Anyway,
So would my wife if I bought an Amiibo.
Fucking, do they know radiation?
now trust me, I would be dead if I came home with a PS4. Okay, Amiibo is small.
It's only
small
the end
feat
of
compared
month
Yeah, but
to
she
PS4.
could hit you with a PS4 and kill you. She'd struggle to kill you with an Amiibo.
Yeah, I'll drive
Anyway.
you by the Skylanders Recovery Centre, and you can get in there and see the guys that were like, I just bought the starter kit and I've got like 20 million in them. That's great. That's absolutely great. It's like, I just keep buying them. You see them on Twitter. It's like they buy them and they go, look what I found. And you're like, guys, what the hell? It's like, yeah, look what I found. It's like, so? You know what I mean? It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
Okay, well anyway, there'll be only 2, right? There's about 30 odd, I believe. I've only 2 at the
No.
moment, right?
You have 2 this year.
No, I got them before the Christmas, okay?
Aye, but I mean, you're only going to have 2 this year.
Why?
Nightmare.
Yeah, I'm only going to have 2, yeah. It's not, I'm in my game. I'm doing a year of shame. I won't be buying any more Amiibos. They're part of a game
Father's
collection.
Day rolls around. I get Bowser. Just turned up at the door.
Oh, classic. Well, it seems now that Connor is the only one that hasn't mocked me for these Amiibos, but there's time. There's 11 months left. Anyway, and D4 Games of Gold. Say no more about
Better
that.
than Amiibo.
And the Amiibos, yeah. Well, I love them.
Bet they're no D4.
And they love you too.
Some guy in Japan's rolling back and forth in a big pit of money, just laughing. Oh dear.
As Colm died of shock.
Stunned silence.
The gas tick. I keep muting the fucking button.
No,
Sorry, lads.
He's petting his Amiibo and the heat going, they're there. It's no real.
Yeah.
They're there.
Blocking his ears up, yeah. Bigger boys
what was I
than
going to
me.
say? Stop. The gas thing is, I don't even have.
I was
Smash
going to say
Brothers.
that. I kept that secret because I thought I'm not going to bring that up. The fact you don't have a game you can use them when you just bought them for buying. Like an extra sort. No, is it?
Yeah.
What's the game you get paint decals in? There's like what do you call it? Fighter jet game. Ace Combat. There's an Ace. Is there no Ace Combat? You get skins. Like if you put Peach in, you get a fighter jet with a Peach skin, which makes you a really easy target.
No, you get you get suits on Mario Kart, and you get Hyrule Warriors. You get a different weapon, which the weapon is quite good. Well, I would have to say that after spending that much money. Enough about that now. Let's move on. I'm sure that's not going to be the end we'll hear of my Amiibo fascination. Thanks, lads. Thanks for the support, as usual. I really am enjoying this at the moment. I'm sweating now. Hold on, I have to go to get another beer in the fridge. Anyway,
where it all goes wrong.
What have you been missing?
Not
Missing stuff. Next section. Stuart.
Sorry. Concentrate. Yes. Missing. Presumed dead. Yeah. I have been missing nothing really. I don't miss much these days. It's not really missing. It's more coming. That's the thing. It's like there's been Borderlands collection announced, which is interesting. I'm not really caring about it, but it's there, and I'm kind of like, I kind of want it. Not really. Nazi Zombie Trilogy, which really is quite interesting to me. Because I've liked Sniper Elite, and this was PC only, and then they've announced they're bringing it as a one big massive hurrah to the Xbox One, so that's coming out, and I really fancy that, so I'm going to stay strong.
When is that coming out?
Oh, who knows, probably March time, April time maybe, so it's a wee bit off. I know that Borderlands is next month, but then the problem with Borderlands is they announced the £400 edition, which is really nice, because you get an actual claptrap that is gyroscopically balanced, so he actually stands up and his eye has a camera, and they'll only make 5,000 of these. If you
sorry, I have to put in here, but you're taking the piss out of me and Captain Toad, and you want to buy a £400 claptrap?
Yeah,
seriously,
it's claptrap.
man?
Why wouldn't I?
It's claptrap. That could be some venereal
There's a
disease
robot in
as
a
far as I'm
game called
concerned.
Claptrap. I can buy a game with the robot.
I definitely knew a lass who was called Claptrap.
I can buy the game with the robot. Yeah.
Is it radio
Yeah,
controlled?
use it through your phone. It's quite an interesting looking model, but again, there's only 5,000 of them in the world, and they're retailing at like £400. So, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like when we're saying we're going to break the rules, you better break the rules for something worth major dough than an Amiibo. You know what I mean?
Don't give him encouragement for going off and buying a PS4 with a game bundle.
Yeah.
Stuart,
With Amiibos.
Colm doesn't need that kind of encouragement. Some kind of Skylanders Infinity Collection for PS4 in a bundle.
That's the get-in.
Please note that I am not a Skylands collector. I have 3 upstairs, but that's it.
I don't collect them. I've got 3. Well, guess what? You've got 3 more than me.
Only 3, right? Okay,
Only
I haven't
3.
gone.
Surely anything more than one's
And that's
a
not
collection.
100, by the way.
Yeah, you can't say it was a starter kit.
3 is a crowd. Okay, let's go that way.
Yeah, so I'm just missing nothing at the moment, but I feel there are things on the horizon being announced that I will be missing in future dates. So, yeah, it's what's to come I'm missing, not what's just now. Because what's just now is, Saints Row, not really caring.
Thank you, Stuart. Well, I've just removed Steam from my phone, so I'm not missing that. I've done that for one reason, because every day I used to go on Steam on my phone and check for any
But
bargains.
Steam's missing you since you've been gone away.
I'll pick up your
It's
slack.
been missing.
You're all right.
Thanks, man. So yeah, I thought I had a very good 25 days so far. Trust me, that's good for me. Okay. I haven't had any Collie's confession so far, so it's 25 days good for me. So, Connor.
Time to play, really. No one told me how demanding a small baby is and how much it interferes with your
I
gaming
could have told
time.
you, man. Matt
It's
could have told you.
disgraceful. It's just not on. There's also been a lot of deals on over Christmas and New Year that's been quite tough. Definitely for me, there's been a few offers on things that normally I would have gone and dropped money on. Obviously, starting my year of shame last year, it's meant all of like November, December, and then into January, where all the new releases have come out and all the the sales are on and these new releases are suddenly down to like 20 quid, usually I would have gone and dropped a couple of ton on games that would sit on my shelf. Thankfully, I'm not doing that because I'm doing a Year of Shame, but that doesn't make the pain any less. And I think that's probably why I went off and bought loads of gaming-related clothing, because it was a way of me going, yes, I'm still getting something. And I do feel like I've saved money over the last few months. So it is having an effect for me. But yeah, missing new releases and getting the time to play with work and the website and a baby, it's difficult to try and squeeze time in, especially when the baby won't sleep. But I'll talk a bit more about that in thoughts and feelings, I think.
When my second one was born, I actually went out and bought myself a PS1 because I knew what was ahead of me. I knew I wouldn't be getting out to the pub anymore. So I treated myself to a PS1 at the time, and that's where my haven't stopped since, basically.
Are you blaming your first child for your gaming compulsion? Sorry,
that's my
second
child.
Yeah, don't take the mic.
I didn't have enough time to do anything the first time around. So yeah, basically, I feel your pain, and just please note that kids are not supposed to sleep at night time. That's why they are kids. So don't expect to get 8 hours sleep until at least 2018. Well, 17 then. 17, we'll give you that. No, I'm just telling you, you could have asked me before you went and, done the dirty or whatever.
He'd have given
what
you
it was
some
like
tips.
to have kids. Yeah, I could have given you some hints, Oh, and you can come back to me when he's 16 or 17. I'll let you know what the story is.
Excellent, I'll hold you to that.
You go from being a hero to being a schmuck.
It's when he walks in and sees you with your Amiibo collection. That's when it all changes.
Yeah, you've changed.
He doesn't actually talk to me because he thinks there's something wrong with me. Because I'm downstairs playing a Wii U and he's upstairs playing Xbox One, and he thinks there's something mentally wrong with me because I'm playing a Wii U. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, Matt, what have you been missing?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Quite content, thanks. When you've got a pile 733 games high, you'd be hard pressed to miss something. So yeah, quite content. All right, so far.
It's always the quiet ones you need to watch.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was the quiet one last year. Look at how things have turned around now. Can't shut me up. What is there any games like Stuart was saying that he's looking, would love this Zombie Army trilogy? Is there any games in the near future that Matt or Connor, would be tempted?
I don't think there's anything specific. There might have been. I think when Destiny came out, I think that was a sort of game. I didn't buy that. And I think maybe I would have liked that game, but that's too late for that now. By the time this challenge is finished, that game will have been done and dusted by most people. So yeah, kind of missed that a bit, but that was nothing to do with this challenge. But yeah, there's nothing on the horizon that I see as a must buy, at least not for me anyway.
Batman for me. I really, really want the new Batman. There's been quite a few. Far Cry 4 was one I was desperate for. Shadow of Mordor, I really fancied that.
Did none of your mates get it, but because I know how you're on that machine. Nobody offer you keys to Karat?
Yes, someone did offer me them, but I haven't. It's the fact is you only get an hour and you've got to download the whole bloody game. It's like I'm not having that sitting on my hard drive, taking up space, telling me, come on, just drop some money on the store and you can have me properly. So, no, the people have offered to me to loan me them, but I think I'm just going to kind of try and go through what other stuff I've got. I've just got to kind of have a bit of willpower and go, yeah, I've already got tons and tons of games. I'm not going to have a ridiculous amount of time to play them all. The main one I'm looking forward to is probably going to be Uncharted 4, and I think that's probably going to be after my Year of Shame finishes. But Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain, when they announce the release date of that, if that's in my Year of Shame, that could be one that pushes me over the edge.
Yeah, it's going to be summertime, isn't it? So.
Yeah, it's probably going to be June time.
Yeah, well, you're on your Year of Shame.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gone into month 5 now, so.
All right. Okay. And you haven't bought it?
No,
Months, no?
I have had a few review copies. You can read my previous 3 months
I know.
at Joypad and me. So
I just wanted to hear it from your own lips.
Is there something you need me to swear on?
There's an Amiibo in the corner for you. Which day? We'll let you have some time with Luigi.
I don't have the Luigi one, okay?
I think this Year of Shame title is taking on whole new connotations since we've been recording now.
This is the year it all goes to hell.
It's stopped being about games.
It's about fun.
Oh dear.
Anyway, let's go and move on to thoughts and feelings. Matt?
One of the games I picked up, I think I mentioned it earlier, was Endless Legend. Now, I picked that up on a sale during December. I'd say 40-50% off. Got it for about a tenner. Now, I played through it once, played a game of it, uninstalled it, and I'm realising because the pile is so big that I'm now, once I've played a game for a while and feel like I've got somewhere with it, that came off. I've only scratched the surface. The 10 quid, that was a sale. Have I got 10 quid's enjoyment out of it? I don't really think so, but I'm not going to, when I've got so many other games to play, I'm not going to sit and play games. So beginning to feel I'm only giving a token effort to most games, which is a bit disappointing. As I think I mentioned with the Fat Princess, I think weirdly, as probably people have already worked, I kind of like just collecting games. Just having a spreadsheet, because it's with Steam it's all digital, so now rather than a stack of discs I've got a virtual list. I still quite enjoy watching that list grow. It's kind of ridiculous because it's just a number on a spreadsheet now, and I'm quite pleased that's going up, which seems to be the exact opposite of what I'm supposed to be doing with this challenge. So and the other thing, and it's interesting hearing you lot talking about achievements. When achievements first came out back on the 360, I was quite keen to get 1,000 points in as many games and all that. And now getting platinums or 1,000 points just seems such a pointless exercise to me now. I play a game to get to the end credits. If I've enjoyed it, I might go in and get a few more achievements or whatever. But I just do not have the time or the willpower to think I'm going to get 1,000 on this game. So it's
for me, it's kind of the motivation to go back and play something again. I'll very rarely platinum a game first time, but if it's something I've enjoyed, it'll still sit in my pile of shame for something that I will go back and do again. There's very, very few
do you
games.
Think you would?
Yes, there's a few that I'm determined to do this year because I really, really enjoyed them, and I want to go back and thoroughly explore them so I can get to the point of going, right, that can be put away. I don't want to see that again. I'm done with it. There are definitely games that I'll play and go, I've got no intention of trying 100% this. I don't want to. It's too much effort. It's going to take too much time. I've got other stuff to do. Max Payne, I think it was last month, was one of those games where I got to the end of it and I could have snapped the disc and thrown it in the bin because it wasn't enjoyable. I had no intention of doing it again, and it was painful to get to the end of the story. There are definitely games I'm just going to play just to get the story done. Just like I will class that as being off my list, especially if it's something I don't like.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, I class as soon as I see the credits roll, that's the game done. You know, if I go back and get a few more achievements or something like that because I've enjoyed it. But yeah, if the credits roll, I class that as that's off the pile. But you know, with the games I'm getting with PS Plus and games with the gold and that, my pile is going to be bigger by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Under no illusions that it's going to be reduced. So I just want to try and play some of the games that I've bought over all the months, all the years, that are just gathering dust doing nothing. So it's just a chance to see some of those games. So I mean, if Stuart, you were mentioning about Colm playing Modern Warfare 3, I'll have a fair few older ones than that we'll be talking about in future podcasts. So
was this because two of us played the newest one and he's playing like 3 years old, 4 3.
I did play the newest one too, but I went back to play the oldest one, or one of the oldest ones. I think my son has a good few of the older COD games on the Xbox 360.
Had I not won a copy, I wouldn't have played it. I wouldn't have bought it. So for me, it was a bit of a bonus and a bit of a surprise to win it. I didn't get Ghost because I'd had various bad things, and I think I was suffering a bit of Call of Duty fatigue. I'd played all of them up to Ghosts, and then went, no, I think I'm done with it. So I had no real intention of buying Advanced Warfare, so winning it was a bit of a bonus. And I've generally enjoyed the stories. They're not the most amazingly well written, but they're shooty, bang bang fun.
I mean, I don't like that.
I'm gonna do.
That's gonna be blocked out.
Get it out.
I mean, going back to sort of making my pile of shame an analogy with it. I remember when I was a kid that I used to collect the football stickers, the Panini football stickers. And you used to open your packet and you'd get, we called them when I was a kid, swaps. So you'd go into school with all the duplicates you had. And
massive.
and I think the beginning of the sort of end of my collecting, I'd go in with my swaps, and the more swaps I had, the prouder I was. I didn't want to swap these for stickers I didn't have. I almost enjoyed watching this massive pile of duplicate stuff that I was never going to use grow. And I think that's how I see these games.
Do you not
now.
realise that Steam have deliberately done that and appealed to that generation with the fact of adding the collector's cards and things in?
Oh God, yes.
It's very deliberate. It's a generation. We are a generation that grew up with Panini sticker albums, and that having to collect them all, that kind of pre-Pokemon era, has just continued in the digital age with Steam.
Yeah, absolutely. I am. It's insidious what Steam are doing, but I have that program on an intravenous drip into my arm, so I don't think I'm ever going to change. So I just want to play some of the games that I've bought to actually give them some time, otherwise they're been a ridiculous investment. So
The biggest rip-off, apart from Amiibos, in the last 5 or 6 years is the FIFA.
Ultimate Team.
Yeah. I mean, my son, I swear to God, every bit of credit he gets, and he's not as bad now, but over the last couple of years, he just, draw him an tenner there, he'd put it on his Xbox 360 credit and buy cards. Seriously, he even said it himself. He said one of his mates just got £100.
Well, I can beat that. There's a guy at work who's just spent £1,500.
And then found out he couldn't transfer the team.
Yeah, well, if I come back and spend £1,500 on Amiibos, you won't be knocking me down, mate, okay? Because if that fecker can spend £1,500 on virtual cards that don't exist and are obsolete this time next year because the FIFA 16 comes out.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, man. I'd say they make more money on the cards than
in-game purchases. That's why you see so many. I mean, not so much on the consoles, but on the PC, you see so many free games because they know, in a weird way, that people spend more by a couple of quid here, a few quid there, rather than they do paying up front. And it's the way stuff is going to go. There's very few games now on the PC that are subscription based. They're all free to play.
Yeah, and the same with the iPad as well.
Yeah,
it's gone that way, but. To me, I wouldn't consider that a game.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I've not really spent, but I mean, I would look at an iPad game that was 99p, 199, and think to myself, I'm not spending that on a game. But if I got a free game and there was saying you can buy these number of gems for £1, you think, well, it's only £1 for some gems, and sooner or later, I mean, I've never been suckered into it, but certain people, and they suddenly realise, blimey, I've spent £40 on an iPad game or something ridiculous. And until people stop, while there is money to be made, these games will keep on coming
completely.
out.
Well, that's what they're there to do, is make money.
Yeah, absolutely. But the problem, the issue I have with some of them is if you're releasing a free game, you should be able to see every part of that game without spending a penny on it. If you want to spend some money on it, to buy a hat or whatever, that's fine. But some of these games, and I've noticed it with the Fat Princess Piece of Cake, it gets very hard very quickly to try and tempt you into buying it, and that's a bit sneaky.
Oh, it's very deliberate. So. It's very, very deliberate.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm determined to finish that game without spending any on it, and I will, because I'm a bit like that with those types of games. I will prove that you can do it without paying any money out. But it will get to a point where it does tempt me, where I want to get a bit further. And that's exactly why it's there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Connor, are you related to Stuart anyway? With your determination post going on there, you know what I mean? I think me and Matt are related somewhere along the line because I just love collecting
Yeah.
stuff,
Big pile of stuff.
including Amiibos.
We ain't gonna. This is the Amiibo episode.
I've got
Yeah.
quite a few collector's editions of games and rapidly run out of space. And obviously, I live with my partner and a small child, and yeah, I can't afford to drop £100 on a game with a statue with it anymore. It's just not happening. So, as much as I'd love to, I can't.
Yeah, I'm a bit OCD with that. With all these collector's editions, they then won't go on the shelf and look exactly the same colour box and all that as all the other console games. So I tend to stick with the normal ones just so the shelf looks more uniform. I think about this a bit too much, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just with Connor saying that Max Payne wasn't enjoyable. I didn't think it was enjoyable
shut
either,
up.
to be honest with you.
Yeah, so did
Max
I.
Payne 3 is a work of art. It's amazing.
It looks gorgeous.
It's the narrative in it is excellent.
No, it isn't.
Aiming in
It's
it.
dross.
The game system is amazing.
It's
The
absolutely.
game system's amazing.
It's
You know what I mean? I finished it in New York Minute, which is like balls to the wall hard. You know what I mean? And
Oh, yeah.
it's seamless. So much enjoyment out of that game.
no. Yeah.
Fucking love it.
You're
Love
wrong.
it.
Well, to each to their own. Okay, can we agree that 10 to 30-year-olds love Max Payne? Anybody over that?
Damn right. Damn right. It's not for old men.
Okay, Grant.
I felt like I was having an
Okay,
aneurysm
grand.
whilst watching the visuals for it. It was the way that
So,
it's
question
someone,
here is,
someone
if
has
you
been
want to know what
given
an aneurysm
video
feels
editing
like,
equipment
let me
for
know.
Christmas and gone, oh,
you
let's use it
played-
on everything. It's like, no,
Have
that's
you
not
played
how
Kane
you
and
edit
Kane and
something.
Lynch too? But Kane and Lynch. Lynch and Kane.
I've played.
Have you
the,
played-
I've played the. I think I played the demo of it, and that was clever.
Very
but
much the same.
Again, a bit annoying, but that was done with the intention of it almost being filmed from CCTV cameras and kind of like
It's still the
a
same
handy
filters
cam.
used.
Yeah. It was given the whole
Yeah.
rough
But
edge
it was,
look.
it was,
trying to
it
give
could
that
have been
whole-
done well. It was done too much, which made it look bad. There's a fine line between making something look artistic and making something look like you're having a seizure.
It's like whitening your arse with silk.
I
So
know about
smooth.
that.
It's great.
It's dross.
I was wondering what to play next month. I think this last 2 minutes has decided what game I'm
Okay.
going to have a go at next month.
That's good, Matt. That's good. But just on the aspect, because back at Matt, just want to ask you, I don't know. It's just myself. Maybe I'm just a bit mental or whatever. But I just find a lot of the games that I have, there's only about a handful that I actually loved
Oh, yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
Like actually loved playing and just couldn't. I didn't want to get to the end, but most games I just want to get to the end.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if it's my whether being a bit older, I'm getting more impatient. But yeah, after a few hours, I'm beginning to notice, I'm bored now. Can we just finish this so I can move on? Yeah, there's
play
very
Max
few
Payne
games
next
now
month.
Oh,
No,
you've
don't,
tempted me
please.
too much now.
God.
I think I'll have the deciding vote on it.
If you don't, I mean,
Oh, God.
it's my problem. One of my favourite games of last gen. It's top 3, easy, all night long.
Really?
Do you know?
Seriously?
Do you
Are
know?
you
Listen to
mental?
the console ninjas. Did you know? Listen to the best games of last gen.
I listened to every episode,
we did the
but I
special
mean,
game of last gen, and I chose Halo 4, Battlefield 3, and Max Payne 3. Any day of the week. Max Payne. I could play Max Payne for here to infinity and beyond.
Jesus.
Oh, I love
really?
it. So
Seriously?
much love for that game. So much.
Oh, it just drove me mental, and my son thought I was crazy, and he loved it.
Funny thing here is, me and your boy seem to be on the same wavelength here. Everything seems to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, good. Well, he is only about 10 years younger than you.
Sons, you're on there, mate. You know what I mean? Sons, you know what I mean? It's that clear divide.
Yeah, it's that generation gap. You know, you and him are the same generation. I'm just old school. You know. Well, anyway, that's grand. Okay, it's me. It's all about me now. I'm on my third drink, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Only 6 days in, and already Nintendo are tempting me with the new 3DS Ambassador Program email I got. I thought it was a free 3DS, but obviously it wasn't. 200 quid. I said, feck off, and it was only for the 3DS small one.
You
I
and
want
the
the
20,000 other people who got the email. But you're special. You're special.
I am
You're
special. Oh well, They said I was special.
I'm sure Nintendo think you're special.
Then I rang up my therapist and asked me, "Am I really that special?" And he said, "No, drop another £100 on my way, and I'll tell you how special you are."
Is that not just a special phone line?
Yeah, I have a direct call to my therapist. Anyway, so that was the only tempting offer I had.
But you said no, Colm, so fight the power.
Yeah, well, I certainly wasn't. I would have been homeless if I had said yes to Nintendo.
Say no to Nintendo, kids. Just say no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your wife would have kicked you and your 2-inch Samus out the door. So.
Oh, classic. Okay, so Connor, what have your thoughts of the...
I'd got a game voucher just before I left work for Tesco's, and we'd had kind of a debate on Twitter as whether I should actually cash it in for a game or not.
I say you buy cheese.
It does look like Tesco's were trying to make me stick to my pile of shame, because the voucher that I got was invalid after having to deal with their ridiculously backwards customer service repeatedly on Twitter, which became quite comedic towards the end. I had to go back to my employer and say, it's a duff card. Can I have another one? So I'm still waiting for another card. What I was going to spend it on was Assassin's Creed Unity, because it was £22. And I thought, that's very, very tempting. The card would have covered the full cost of it. I'd have spent no money. That would be nice. But obviously I couldn't, and I didn't. So I didn't get that. And I still haven't actually got a card, and I think what I might do is just keep hold of that card after checking it works and not actually spend it on a game, because I don't need to spend it on a game. I've got enough other stuff.
Buy a lot of nappies with it.
Yeah, I think that's
spend it on the nappies.
That's very tempting. But what has been difficult is actually trying to play with a small child. Who will only sleep when he's in close proximity to you, as to be expected. He's a baby and he just wants warmth and comfort. Trying to hold a control pad with two hands whilst propping a child up on your chest is really, really difficult.
You know, just lie him and tap with the PS4, but that gives enough a nice ambient heat.
Get a Wii U, stick it in a plug, there'll be enough heat there to keep him happy. Stick a controller in between his hands and he'll be as happy as a baby child, trust me. I'll even post over one of my Amiibos for you, I don't mind, honestly. Just for a friend, I would do that for you.
Well, that's breaking the laws of the cast.
Well, the amazing thing is, my partner got given a sling from her work when she left to go on maternity leave. Basically, it's like a 12-foot piece of like lycra fabric, and you wrap it around yourself in a certain way and then pop the baby in, and you've got both hands free. So pretty much this month I've donned a lilac sling and been playing video games with a baby completely asleep on me. It's fantastic. He's not going to fall off me, he's not going to fall out, I've got both hands free. It's great. So I may look a bit weird, but it's absolutely amazing. So for me, I think that's been my find of the month, is getting myself wrapped up in this sling and having a baby tucked in. I'll probably post a picture after this podcast goes live so people can try and work out what the hell I'm on about. I know Colm's seen a picture because I'd tweeted him one as a direct message. And it's fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. It's meant I got to finish Call of Duty. I got to platinum Infamous Second Son, which there's no way I'd have been able to do with a baby propped on me, or with him being laid down and then laying down for 10 minutes and then screaming for 2 hours. So he's content, he's comfortable and fine. His mother can go off and catch up on some sleep, and I can play video games. Brilliant. So generally that's been my my happiest time, is just I know he's close and safe and I can play. And yeah, so generally it's not felt too bad. Obviously we'll see how it goes over the coming months and he gets a bit bigger and maybe more demanding. But at the moment, yeah, it's not been too bad. I'm a few months into it now, so I feel like I've got past the bit that was difficult, which would be the part over Christmas and New Year with the sales. So I think I'm on it's easy sailing now.
And that concludes the Kiddie Care Mini.
More next time. Have we lost anyone on this call? We lost Colin.
Oh, sorry, I'm muted again. Sorry.
I just heard Skype go bing bong and I thought we'd lost you. Are we all still here?
I'm still here. I
I'm
think it's
still
that
here.
third beer. It's done for Colm.
I'm still muted. Sorry.
I'm muted, and then he
just
mutes
keep
himself
clicking
again.
on mute.
Just to keep
No
the
more,
mute.
no more drinks for that man.
I've got work tomorrow, so
Somebody
I'm
get the
back.
washing
I'm only
machine?
back in work tomorrow. No, that's
you taking
my
the leak?
good lady having a cup of tea.
Are you recording on the
No,
toilet?
I'm not having. That's why I'm mute. Oh, crikey. I've got another 11 months to put up with you here now.
Well, there's three of
Okay.
us, so that's all.
Thank you. Hold on. Now, thank you, Connor. Stuart.
I really could go a cup of tea. No, thoughts and feelings. This month's been pretty easy, if I'm honest. I've mainly been focusing on doing that challenge, so that's kind of ate up a lot of my time. It's also meant my consumption rate's higher than what I would have liked it to be, because I'm going to now drop back and play through a few of the things I've played this month, just to kind of mop them up. The general feeling is I'm going to put out there every month. I'm going to put out a call to the listenership. Woo! I'm going to see if we can get together today a couple of online nights, you know what I mean? Because we must have a pile of shame that's the same, you know? So I'm thinking I really, really want to. I've got the money. The money's in the bank. Money's safe. You can take that home right now. Your bus fare home's safe. So I've got the money in the bank for the new Zombies mode and the new COD, and I really fancy it. But I've no played Extinction because I've got all of Extinction on Ghosts, because I got my Ghosts for free because I was one of the 500 in the UK to play it first at Eurogamer a year ago. So I was wanting to see if anybody out there's got Extinction and they fancied the game. I'm more than willing to play Extinction with them, because I would love to play through the 4 chapters or 1 chapter or how many chapters you've got, just to see what it's like. Because nobody I've no plays it really. I'm very much my friends are very much pulse chasers. They'll play it for a couple of months, then jump to the next thing, then jump to the next thing, then jump to the next thing. So like stuff like Ghosts Extraction, I'd love to play with somebody. The crew, anybody out there with the crew, hit me up. Seriously, I'm more than willing to join up with people. I'm trying to think. Destiny as well. I wouldn't mind getting back and doing a few strikes and stuff, especially if you've got the DLC for Destiny. Quite a few of my mates are light on the DLC because they feel it's cheating them buying the DLC. So they're the kind of, this month I'd like to try and get somebody to play Destiny, somebody to play Ghosts, or once the DLC comes out for Advanced War next week, if we can get 4 people and we can kind of justify the fact we'll play it, I would love to buy the DLC or the Season Pass, because if I buy the Season Pass, it kills my credit for the year instantly, but it means I get to play a game mode I really want to play. Dilemma. Yes, I know. And the crew, just to see what the crew would be like with people, like not just randoms. But other than that, I'm really enjoying what I'm going. I'm playing a lot of online with the guys for the Console Ninjas. We play a lot of Forza, we play a lot of Titanfall. It's great playing them, but you're really just playing them so you can talk to them. You're not playing them because you want to play them, if you know what I mean. It's more a kind of social gathering, you know. I enjoy it. Always MVP, always, not always, sometimes no, but most times. But it's an enjoyment, and same with Forza. Forza's really enjoyable, but again, you're not really working towards an end goal, you're just kind of playing for fun, you know. So definitely, if anybody's looking for some hit-ups on the Xbox One, that is, send them our direction, you know. I think that's a really cool idea for this year as well, if we can maybe try and get a few game nights organised around people maybe trying to get old achievements, maybe just trying to get a couple of games or something old that they don't really have people to play with, you know what I mean, kind of help the aged meet and greet kind of scenario. What do you think?
Oh, I'm all for help the aged. Yeah, well, that was lovely, Stuart, for your cry for help. You've no friends, obviously. I'm 47, I've no friends. Very good reason for that. Cause
I've got
old.
friends that just don't play COD. That's the problem with me, is my friends don't play COD.
Well, I have Titanfall, so if you ever want to hit me up, as you say, give us a shout.
Do you like playing the games? The games? I like playing the games.
Can I stick in? I don't know whether this should go in as a listener mail one or thoughts and feelings, but I want to kind of know if people preloaded, so if people bought loads of stuff knowing full well they were starting the Year of Shame. Obviously I didn't, but did any of you three?
Well, I did Captain Toad.
And you did Amiibos.
That was before the Year of Shame started.
I bet.
I got 2 Amiibos. That's a couple of Amiibos.
A couple of Amiibos. You're a right couple of Amiibos.
And I have a Mario from my Happy Meal collection. Oh, sweet Jesus, I am a pervert.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Go on.
So, what do you think? Did anyone buy anything?
No, I don't pre-order stuff.
Not necessarily pre-order, but because of the sales and stuff, knowing full well you were going to have to go a year. Was there a load of games that came out and you just thought, right, I want to grab all of these?
He did top load a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Steam were running a sale in December. And I did do a bit of a quick dash round, just picking up anything that was on offer. So, yeah, I suppose I did to a certain extent.
Colm?
Well, for the last 15 months I've been doing that, so it didn't make any difference
So
to
one
me,
big
basically.
build up to today.
Yeah, basically. I knew the first year was going to be a failure, but I knew after that I was going to
First
be a
year was-
success.
Yeah, if you're going to fail it properly. So
The first year was a pilot for me. So,
it was rejected by the networks.
yeah, basically, yeah. I know that feeling all my life anyway, but anyway. No.
Stu? Because I know you pretty much bought every Xbox One game prior to January 1st.
I think you'll find I was gifted at Christmas by my family. But yeah, I got quite a lot of stuff at Christmas, but then I stopped buying games in probably last October or maybe November, so I could actually get. See, the problem was, if I hadn't stopped in October, November, I wouldn't have really had any stuff for my family to gift me at Christmas. If you know what I mean? So it was. It was.
That was very good.
Man of the people.
They struggle, and my girlfriend's like, "What you want?" And I was like, "I really want Shadow Warrior." And every time I saw it, I'm like, "I'm going to buy it." And then I was like, "No, she's getting it for my Christmas." And then I go Shadow Warrior. So that was the kind of problem, was I stopped so they could pick up the slack. But that was never the issue. And then the other thing is Battlefield Hardlines. But Battlefield Hardlines has been pre-ordered for like 6 months now, 7 months. You know what I mean? So. I blame Tesco's.
Bit of a Battlefield fanatic.
I do like Battlefield. If you've ever heard me talk about Battlefield,
Over COD?
yeah, definitely, totally, through and through. COD's fun and all, but Battlefield's where it's at. Yeah, I mean, my heart is on the battlefield, as they say. So when that comes out, that'll be me. Technically, all my pre-orders, anything pre-ordered, ceased. Over. But that's only because when you pre-order at Tesco's take the money out of your account. So Tesco's have the money for Battlefield right now. So it's kind of like, well, that money has been missing for 6 months, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I've kind of, there's not much I want right now because I own pretty much everything I want. Hence, there's not been a release in January yet because Dying Light's.
Oh, but it's a quiet time.
Yeah, so
anyway.
Dying Light's next release, or the first release of the year, really. So it's kind of like, once Dying Light comes out and passes, then we'll see how I feel. But it should be okay.
Cool.
Alright, thanks, Colin. Thanks, lads, for that. Let's move on to listener email, and I'll read the first one, and then maybe we'll take turns after that. You know, let's be fair here. Well, actually, it's a bit sad that I'm reading the first one, actually, because it's about
Who's doing the monster? That's the question. Looking at this, there's the monster
I'll
email.
do that then if you
Oh,
like.
sweet. That's yeah. Because I can't speak. I can barely speak at this stage. I'm after 3 cans of course.
We don't know, Chris. You're doing fine.
It's the fact it's Coors Light. It's no exciting.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, it's cheap and cheerful, like myself. Anyway, so Justin, my friend, Justin Smith, actually, on your 6, question for the show. Do you think Amiibos are gaming related peripherals? Should they be banned? What about
Well, I'd say new controllers are essential for you to be able to get through your year of shame. So no, I think they can be excluded.
Hardware.
I think any hardware.
should
So
be
if your
excluded.
machine dies and you have to buy a new machine, yeah, I think that's completely acceptable. But not buying a new machine that you don't currently own, Colm. So no PS4s.
You read my mind, man. Here I was. Now, I tell them the Xbox One is dead, and then I run out and buy a PS4.
And you can't do the tactical thing, which in past years always made me laugh. When people are like, yeah, you can buy a new machine if your machine breaks, but you're not allowed to buy a machine with a bundle just to get the game. So I had it in my head, people were just coming in with a sledgehammer, smashing their machine and going, I'm going to go and buy the Halo bundle. Woohoo!
Yeah.
It's like, how stupid are you? But I'm definitely with that. Hardware, we need hardware, mics, pads, charge kits, anything like that. I even include live in that, because you need live to play online and talk to people and stuff. So I include my live within that hardware segment.
Alright. Now, you see, live maybe, but not Xbox points.
No, I don't buy points, because points is basically exchanging cash for Mickey Mouse money to buy games. But live, you buy live, then you can chat to people in parties, you can play it online with people, you can use the cloud system. I think there's a few other things tied into it, so it's key to the Xbox experience.
Alright, thanks, Stuart. That's off me off the hook then, because I've only got my live up till next August. I think. It's grand. Thanks, Stuart. Stuart has turned out to be my real friend here. The rest of you are taking the piss there. Oh no, you took the piss out.
Hold on. We didn't mention Amiibos there. He did say Amiibos. Now, where do we stand on Amiibos?
Yeah, we skated around the issue.
Yes.
Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, the controllers, peripherals banned. Should be fine. Amiibos, they should be banned, but that's nothing to do with the challenge.
See, the Amiibos is the pinnacle of this episode, but this is the climax of the movie. This is the big.
We are going to have a special. I'm going to have a special Amiibo podcast, just myself and a few other 10-year-olds. But anyway,
you and your Amiibos so linked. What do you think about the latest releases this month?
But is that Link or Toon Link?
I'm not. Yeah, Toon Link is going for mental prices.
That's another question for another podcast.
That's for my special edition podcast. Okay, thanks for the feedback, Connor.
Yeah, I'll do the next one. Next one's from Justin Knowles, and he says, "What are your individual rules? Example: PlayStation Plus vouchers, trading in, any wildcards or jokers, etc." Well, I think we've kind of covered that at the beginning anyway, haven't we? We've stated what our rules are. I'd set my rules up for my own year of shame. The only thing that's kind of a wild card is review copies. Other than that, all PlayStation Plus is in because it was pre-bought, and I need PlayStation Plus to access most of my pile of shame. So I won't need to buy any more during the year, so it's fine. Other than that, we've said about getting gifts and things, but we've all stated that we won't be trading stuff in, which I'm happy with. I won't be trading anything in, but I also have said I won't be buying any DLC.
Yeah, I think I'll agree there. I don't think I'll. Well, last year, you see, the problem for me was I'd look at a game and say, I'll never finish that, so I'll trade it in for something else. So this year I've already finished quite a few games anyway, but I've no intention of trading them in. So
not a copy of Dungeon Siege 3 was bought.
No, that's another one of my passions: Amiibos and Dungeons. How sad am I? Seriously, man, I think I should be locked up.
You are
at this
history's
stage.
Greatest monster.
I am, basically.
Mussolini,
you wouldn't.
Colm, Hitler. That's how it goes.
Thank God it's not a video copy, because you would definitely agree with that, man. I am history's biggest monster. Anyway, so Matt and Stuart, what do you think? Do you agree? We've covered everything.
Yeah, I think we're on the same boat as we're not. Basically, it all boils down to we're not spending money on games or DLC. Basically, isn't it? So.
Yeah, and if you've got the points, you can buy a DLC. Once your points run out, you're done. So that's the rule with DLC. And that's it really. And this whole £1 a week thing, if you're doing that, fair dues to you. But you're bloody cheating, because you're buying games with the money you're saving. Blah blah blah. Maybe, I don't know.
Are you doing the £1 a week?
Yeah, but I'm doing the £1 a week thing to fuel me going to Eurogamer, which it's having done it last year and had £500 in my hand to go to London was great. So this year we're going to Birmingham, which is cheap, and so far I've got enough to buy my 4-day ticket. So that's the ticket done. Next stop, hotel.
Have you booked the hotel?
No, because I'm going to wait till I get my ticket, and then I'm going to look to see where to go.
Yeah, because I was saying it to my young fella, I might go over there in September, but I'll wait and see. Yeah. Okay. Stuart, do you want to read out the next one?
I think this one for Adam, ex-host of Year of Shame 2, or current host of Year of Shame 2, because Year of Shame 2 is technically It ended, but the podcast may still exist if my phone updates. Here you go. Hi guys, please can all the PC gamers visit steamleft.com and see how big your gaming library truly is. His is sitting at 963 consecutive hours, which translates as 40 days, 3 hours, and 31 minutes, which the 1 minute is the important one, of gameplay sitting in his game Steam library to complete. So I think that's what you guys were talking about earlier on, wasn't it? When you fed your...
No, that's me.
Oh, that's you.
That's not Adam's. That's your pile, is it?
No, that's me. That's just my pile. Yeah.
Sorry, Adam. There. Sorry.
I should have put Colin behind.
You're making me point a gun at that man's head for no reason.
Yeah. He's got a lot more than me, mate, I'll tell you. So I think we've narrowed that one down. It's either me or Matt. I don't think Connor's a PC gamer or Stuart's a PC gamer.
Yeah, I mean, I think we spoke about it before we were recording, but mine is 6,208 continuous hours.
Jesus.
Which works out at 258 days, 16 hours and 38 minutes. And in a little bit that you get on the bottom of this website, in this time you could watch every movie on Amazon Prime Instant once. So that's quite an achievement, isn't it?
Jesus.
It is.
I'm quite proud, actually.
I am.
Do you have Amazon Prime? Just out of interest?
No, so I don't know. I presume that's 6,208 hours. They have quite a lot of films. So I'm glad my software library matches that.
Maybe you could sell it to Amazon.
There we go.
Maybe it could be a companion piece.
Maybe Amazon should buy some shares in me. I think I'd be a good purchase. Clearly.
I think you should, with all the money you're saving this year, buy some shares in Amazon. You might do yourself a favour. Okay, thank you. This is... you see, I didn't put that... Oh, Matt, you're going to do this one, are you? I'll leave that one to...
Which one do you want me to do? The long one?
This Sean Cullen.
Right, okay.
One, yeah.
This is an email that came in from Sean Cullen. So it goes, "Hey gents, just wanted to wish you well for your challenge, and I look forward to all the shows it inspires. I just completed my first year of Shame Challenge, which went okay, but could have been better. Sure, I only bought one game aside from my Joker, damn you Madden, but those weekly DLC sales were the real killer. Also, I never really strayed from my comfort zone enough to make any kind of dent in my pile. So for year the second, I decided to incorporate Justin Knowles' $1 a day challenge. And with that, I did not load up my Xbox PSN wallets, nor have I left myself a Joker option. The most I did was declare a day of amnesty on my birthday, the end date of the first year, and all I really did was renew my Xbox Live Gold and bought a copy of Lego Star Wars Saga for $10. I figured doing it this way will help me keep avoiding game purchases while being able to snap up DLC on the cheap. And from what Mr. Knowles and Justin Smith have said, I can expect to bank a considerable amount at even this rate. In fact, I hope so. The better to be ready for whenever Bethesda get off their collective ass and announce a game I'd actually want to pre-order. As far as games go, I've only been able to bank the latest games with gold offerings, including the Xbox One options, just in case I ever wind up with one of those. I started out the challenge by caning the ever-loving life out of my PS4 copy of Assassin's Creed 4 before going back to the 360 and continuing with Bioshock. I hope to complete the story soon, but my gaming life is one big tapas try in which I jump from game to game to game. This is why I'm also loath to tease what games I might be trying next, as I never really know until the moment of truth. So that's my challenge. Again, I look forward to hearing how everyone else's challenges are going. I also state for the record that I have not placed any kind of wager regarding Colm's performance in this year's challenge. And he was wise to do so.
I think so, yeah. I think we just found a new host of the year Shame Challenge. Thank you very much, Matt.
I didn't realise it was
fantastic.
an audition. I've been fooled.
That was seamless,
Beautiful.
man.
I had a tear in my eye there.
Beautiful.
We'll have
Beautiful.
a moment.
That was
Hug it out, lad.
a moment. That was fantastic, man. You should go into a presentation or some sort.
Battery
Anyway.
will get you everywhere.
I know. Yeah. Thanks very much.
Give that man a golden Amiibo.
Yeah, I will. In the post for you, man. In the post for you.
That's all what I've been after
In
right
the
from
post.
the beginning. Me and Samus down the top.
The fact that you know his name makes me happy. Horror, sorry.
Come for goodness
Oh,
sake.
I'm sorry.
Who's the Nintendo fan? Who's
shit.
the Nintendo fan? Yeah.
Horror, sorry. Anyway, thank you very much, Connor. That was impressive, to say the least.
Me?
Or
What,
Matt,
me?
sorry. Wait,
That's
I'm
so
impressed with you too, Connor, as well as Stuart. Sorry, thanks very much.
But who do you love the most? Who do you love the most?
It's between Mario and Link. Sorry. And of course, my good lady. Anyway, thanks very much, lads. Just one more from David Law. He was on Twitter. What you guys currently playing through? Any plans for tonight? Well, my plans.
Tonight we're going to rip the piss out of him.
Yeah,
Look at me.
well, I think you've done a good job of that, lads.
That's
And
you, no him.
my plans? No, I have to download this
Oh, hello.
beautiful podcast and get it ready for during the week.
Oh, you're back.
Oh, I'm back. Someone
Who
went.
went?
Yeah, someone went then.
Yeah,
I thought my headphones had bust.
Ah, that's okay. 2 hours. And
Yeah.
It
3
went
minutes,
quite, yeah.
that's grand.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear
Yep.
you.
I heard you read out the question, but I didn't hear
Oh,
anything
sorry.
else after that.
David Law at knackered back. Well, he has a bad back. What? He does.
Is this an old
No,
man
he
thing?
does. He has it on Twitter. He's one of my friends. What are you guys currently playing through? Any plans for tonight? Well,
Max Payne 3.
We're going to rip the shit out of you for Amiibos. That was tonight's plans, and tonight's went great. Fantastic.
100% result, yeah. My plans are to finish the last can of Coors Light off
And cry
That'll go well.
and play with my Amiibos.
in the bath.
Seriously, there's going to be some editing on this podcast, man. Serious.
It's all gold. Don't take
Oh,
any
no,
of
I
it out.
can't.
It's all
Okay,
gold.
Grant. Anyway, that's it, lads.
Can I give a wee shout out
Yes.
to our good friend, my friend, everyone's friend, Terry the Foxhound
Yeah.
Hounder, for the awesome logo he designed for us this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you,
fantastic.
Terry. Yes, I did mention that already.
The fact that I look like Max Payne on it wins Game of the Year.
What I can't understand is why he has Connor looks like he has a baldy head when he doesn't. He's clearly not.
Yeah, I'm not that bald. I think on close examination, I do have the odd hair. On,
Oh, is
on
that
the
you,
top of my
Connor?
head,
He has
so-
you. No, I thought that was Connor.
I think my hair's a darker colour than it, or a lighter colour than it usually is.
Ah, right.
I'm
Yeah.
going to have to try and find the thing
Yeah,
now.
and he has Mia's hair. I don't know where the feck he got that from, man. Seriously, man. It's just stubble. Yes, thanks, Terry. It's fair play to you. I really appreciate it. And maybe, you never know, might be Amiibo on the way for you if you want one.
It's new. Let's try and get rid of these two.
Yes,
The next show.
Okay, well, thanks very much, lads. It's been a pleasure. And you can contact yourself, Stuart. Where can they contact you?
They can find me at Fury AC and the number 3 on Twitter and Xbox and special Xbox. If you want to get some of that action on the multiplayer front, definitely give us a hookup, give us a shout, give us a friends request. I will be there, even on Twitter. Just saying Twitter, fancy a bit of co-op, I'll be there.
Thank you. And Matt?
I'm Math MAFF_G on Twitter and MathG on Steam and Xbox. Should anyone want to find me there?
Connor?
And you can find me at VDJOMB, so that's Victor Delta Juliet Oscar Mama Bravo, on Twitter, or the same on PSN, and you can find me podcasting on joypadandme.com.
Well, you can find me on the Console Ninjas, but you don't know that as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
we know, yeah.
I mean, the only podcast worth listening.
Yeah, of course, yeah. When it gets its act together.
Hey, quality,
I
can't
made a
rush it.
comment. I said I would like to hear more of this, but the lads went, yeah, you feck off, you fecker, yeah. The life gets in the way and all this crap, and I just went,
Yeah, because we're too busy playing games to talk about them, you know what I mean?
okay, and you can find me at Amiibo Land or at Solid 67, and you
Is that no what's the voted?
and you can, or you can contact us at YoS Challenge 3 or at Gmail, YoS@gmail.com. I think so. And thanks very much, lads. Good night.
One last thing, if you are looking for us on RS feeds, look for YoS Free. Don't look for Year of Shame Free. You'll not find us. It's under YoS Free, just so in case you're finding us.
Good night. Thank you, lads. Say good night.
Night.
Catchies.
Nighty night.